What's up, y'all? This is Reggie White, aka Bullet, aka Speed and Bullet, and this is the Speed and Bullet podcast channel. Right now, I'm going to be bringing you a segment of the channel that I call Books I've Read That Maybe You Should Read, where I take a book from my library that I've read, give it a brief summary and overview, and let you know if it's something that maybe you should read also. So, the book that I'm going to be reviewing today is a book by Ibram X. Kendi called Stamp from the Beginning. Hope you guys can see this. A graphic history of racist ideas in America. So, why I think this book is important, and why do I think that you guys should maybe take a look at this and read it. So, Stand from the Beginning, which the original version of this book was written in 2016, and it is really the definitive history of racist ideas in America. The original book is a very technical history book that really gives you a powerful exploration of racism spanning 500 years. But in 2023, Kendi did something that I think was amazing, and he really remixed this book and turned it, remixed the original book and turned it into a absolutely stunning graphic novel. So Kendi is, is acclaimed for his history books, but this particular version makes the book much more accessible and really digestible to a variety of readers. Kendi, a National Book Award winning historian and founder and director of Boston University's Center for Anti-Racist Research, he worked closely with award-winning cartoonist and historian Joel Christian Gill to adapt Stand from the Beginning into a graphic novel format. Their collaboration gives really the 2016 version really a new life in 2023, and still amidst just the ongoing issues of violence and racist ideas towards black and brown people throughout the United States currently. So a little bit about the book. So like I said, it is a graphic novel, so it's going to be in graphic novel form, which is going to have a cartoonist, and they're going to be kind of going through the whole process of really the beginnings of racist ideology here in the United States and Europe, and how it kind of grew from just a very small minority to just being a position that was ingrained in the culture. But Kendi book delves into the history of racist ideas in America, explaining how these ideas really shape the American society over centuries. The title of the book comes from a speech by Jefferson Davis, who was the president of the Confederate during the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. And Jefferson Davis argued that black inferiority was stamped from the beginning. So the book covers not only defenders of slavery and abolitionists, but also reveals that some of the heroes of the civil rights for black people held very, very racist beliefs. So Kendi, as the author, examines the evolution of racist ideas over 5 centuries. Some of the key figures that he talks about is Cotton Mather, who was a Puritan minister and prolific writer in colonial America. Mather's writings perpetuated really the most racist of racist ideas, particularly regarding Native Americans and Africans. He also explores Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. With Jefferson, despite advocating for liberty, Jefferson also owned slaves and held very racist beliefs. He also talks about William Lloyd Garrison, who was an influential abolitionist and editor of The Liberator. Garrison fought against slavery but faced criticism for his views on racial equality. Even within the abolitionist movement, there were folks who maybe didn't think that black people should be enslaved, but still looked at black people as being the lesser race. He also talks about W.E.B. Du Bois, who many of us know as a prominent African American scholar, sociologist, and civil rights activist. Du Bois challenged racist ideas and advocated for equal rights. He also talks about Angela Davis, who's a radical activist, scholar, and professor. Davis's work intersects with anti-racist movements and critiques systematic racism. But throughout the book, Kendi really just reevaluates not only these figures, but many of the figures throughout the history of the United States, and reveal how some of these racist ideas have shaped American history. The original book was written, in 2016 during Barack Obama's second term, and the book places the myths of post-racial America in a broader historical context. Really meaning that a lot of people claim that racism ended when slavery was abolished, or racism ended after the civil rights movement, and most most indicators say that racism is alive, just in many different forms. The same way that racism went from slavery form to Jim Crow to post Jim Crow to what we see today. He even has some commentary about the Trayvon Martin's death, police violence, and the white supremacist terrorism that underscores just the ongoing racial inequality and violence in contemporary America. He really gives a really good overview of a lot of the revered figures in American abolitionist and civil rights movement. The book also challenges the assumption about anti-racism, highlighting that not all abolitionists were necessarily anti-racist. Stand from the Beginning, the original, won the 2016 National Book Award for nonfiction. In my opinion, this book provides a very stark and thought-provoking examination of racism in American history. But how I think this book absolutely shines is the fact that it is written in a graphic novel form. And me being someone who enjoys reading, I know that some books can be a difficult read. Like, some books are just so technical and written in a way that the normal just the average person will have a very hard time digesting a lot of the thoughts, a lot of the ideas that are presented in books that can be very complicated. But this is where I think this book absolutely shines, because it is written in a way that these racist ideas are able to be expressed, but also to be able to be received by a multitude of different types of readers, from children to adults to people who have what we consider a higher level of education, to some folks who we would say has a lower end of education. This book does a great job of really bridging that gap, so anyone can pick up this book and read this book and get all of the information that is being expressed throughout this book. So that's where I think this book absolutely shines, and that's why I think that this is the type of book that I feel like everyone should take a look at it. As you can see, the cover, obviously it's in graphic art form, but the cover is amazing. I got it in hardback. I always like to get my books in hardbacks if I can absolutely find it in hardback. But like I said, I feel like this book is an excellent read, a book that I have read, and I think that it's a book that you guys should pick up and give it a read. I think you will be happy that you did. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.